What's up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. It's Friday. You know what day it is. It's the Q&A. And for any new subscribers, which there aren't many right now, my channel is like just sitting there. Friday is where we do the Q&A. So every Friday, I ask you guys to ask a question in the comments, and then I will answer your question. It's pretty simple. It's fun. Let's do this. All right. Today I'm wearing my Anthony Burton California 67. This is one of my watches I made back when I was a watchmaker. I made this 20 years ago. This was a prototype. And there's an interesting story with this because, I mean, I haven't worn my own watches in so long, and I'm just starting to get some of them back out and get them running and stuff. This has an ETA 2846 automatic movement, and I made this watch, and then pretty soon after I made it, within like a couple of weeks, my dad passed away. So I went out to where he was, flew out, and he was just before he had passed, he was still in the house, and then he passed away while I was in the house. That night I stayed there was a lot of weird shit that happened in that house that night, but it was really weird. This watch stopped working completely for the whole time I was up, at my parents' house visiting them. And I just thought, all right, the movement's bad, whatever, and I'll just take care of it when I get home. I couldn't wind it. It just wasn't working. And the weird thing was, I was up there for about 4 days, I think. And then when I left and came home, the watch started running again. This is 20 years ago, and it's never stopped. Well, it stops when I don't, obviously not wearing it or winding it, but it's not, there was nothing wrong with it. And it's never been serviced. I've never serviced it or anything. And it's still running. It's a very cool watch. It's got a white dial. Got display back with the ETA movement, nothing fancy. Sapphire crystal, 40 millimeter case. So, and a alligator strap. So anyway, enough about that. Let's get into the Q&A. Let's roll the intro, and we'll talk about it.
Talking timepieces with Tony. Talking timepieces with Tony.
All right, so don't have a whole lot of questions this week and whatever, but let's do this, huh? This one comes from Strida GMT. Awesome watch, Tony. Thank you. Not sure which one you were talking about, but could you explain how the Moonphase works? I guess I could. The Moonphase reveals the passage of time as the moon it cycles through as it orbits the Earth. So there's basically 8 distinct phases that the moon goes through within a 29.5-day period. So for instance, here we take another one of my Anthony Burton watches. This one I got running too. I also got an automatic. Oh, snap. Anyway, so you've got, when you look at the sky and you look at the moon, you've got, this is not going to come out too well, but you can see the moon kind of on the corner there, right? And as you see, there's different like crescent moons, the sort of very slim crescent. And as throughout the passage of time, the night sky, the moon changes and it gradually gets fuller and fuller and fuller until we have a full moon. And that happens through the course of 29.5 days. What does it represent? I mean, some people can get into the horoscopes and things like that. I just look at it as like, well, it's almost a full moon, man. Better stay home because the vampires are coming out and the werewolves and all that. It's my favorite complication, but I don't really know what purpose it serves other than just knowing just having it. So what'll happen is through time, and this is not set correctly. It'll just, as it goes, the discs will cycle around, and then it'll start showing each phase of the moon until it gets to the full moon. That's what that is. Pretty simple. If any of you have any more insight on that or want to put more into it, then by all means, please do. Thanks for your question, Strider. This next question comes from, this is like a generic A9M, whatever. It's a generic handle right there. Would you recommend the 2023 Explorer 40 for a do-it-all type sport watch? I'm usually a one-watch guy. Is it better single watch collection than a colored sub like a Bluesy? Yeah, I think if you were gonna go for it, I think you should go for the sub 40. I mean, the Explorer? Sorry, the Explorer in the 40 millimeter. Why not? I mean, that watch will just kind of be your every sort of day watch that you can dress up, dress down, casually, formally. Go in the pool with it, go to the beach with it, go to a wedding with it, go to a black tie event if you want to go to it. It would just sit right in every sort of just about any scenario you want to put it in. Bluesy, you know, you're adding some color, and you might actually even get sick of the blue after a while. You know what I mean? And the two-tone. You know, just if you're gonna stay with something basic as a one watch collect. You said one watch, right? You're giving 23 Yeah, if you said you're usually a one watch guy, yeah, I would definitely stay with the Explorer. But I do thank you for your question. All right. Next one comes from Brit EPPR62. Thank you. By the way, you're very informative. Music, timepieces, and culture, generally speaking. Thanks, man. Have you ever considered a meetup with some of us? I too live in the Southern California. In Southern California. You know, I've met several people that watch my channel just, you know, by happenstance, walking through the mall or wherever it may be. When I was in Nashville, I was at the Rolex dealer in Nashville at Fink's. A viewer came up and talked to me, and a couple people I do get to know. But I as far as a meetup and a group meetup, I'm so not down with that. I just, you know, it's like, it's not that I'm not down with it. I don't like to just have that group thing. I don't know, it's just not me. If you bump into me and you happen to see me, that's awesome. I'm cool. I'd love to, you know, say hi and talk to you, but yeah, I'm not into those meetups, you know what I mean? But thanks for your question. Thanks for asking, man. Metagirl, which of your watches got the most wear time this week, and why did you choose them to wear? Thanks. The time that got the most spent on my wrist, now I'm getting like, that was my Zenith Pilot. I've worn this the most. Second, you know, I'm always wearing the Rolex, and then once I'm at home and whatever, I constantly change throughout the evening. I've been wearing this one a lot, which obviously I just explained a little bit of that. And the reason why I'm wearing some of my watches, this one also has an ETA 2846 day date. This is a hand-painted dial, and it's got a blue Swiss rubber strap on it. These are really nice watches, and I'm surprised they're still running. But this one is quartz. I think I explained. This is the same quartz movement that was in my triple calendar, and primarily one of the reasons is I wanted to see how well it was still keeping time. Plus, it looks cool. You know what I mean? It's like, so I just wanted to see if it was still being accurate after 20 years of not being worn. You know, so yeah, that's probably where I've been at with that. But thanks for your question. Hi Tony, hi Paco and Uku. This is from 458V8. What do you think about the new Tudor Black Bay Chrono Pink? How difficult or limited will they be to obtain? Thank you. What do I think about it? I don't think a lot about it. I don't, it's not, just because a dial comes out, some people are like, oh my God. And no, you're not going to be able to get it. It's not going to be a watch that's released to the ADs. It's very limited, and one of the reasons why they probably do that is to create hype. Fear of not being able to get it, people are going to go, I gotta have it, because you can't get it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's a nice looking watch, but not much else to say about it. And then I know my next question comes from Dean5346. My first Q&A question for you. What do you think of the new pink Tudor Black Bay Pro chronograph? Would you wear a pink watch? Are there other watch companies who make pink watches in their history? Thanks for the content. I would wear it. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it, because I wouldn't buy it. Put it that way. I don't care. It's like, but would I wear a pink watch? Yeah, sure. Wouldn't faze me 1 second. I'd wear a pink watch. Are there other watch companies who make pink watches? Yeah, man. Rolex OP, they have a pink dial. The Zenith make a Defy and pink dial. I'm sure AP makes a pink dial. Oh, there's just tons of companies that make pink dials, man. So, yeah. But thanks for your question, dude. Appreciate it. David Parrish Productions. What's up, David? Happy Easter, Tony. Thank you, and happy Easter to you. That was what, not last week? Thank you and Paco for the Q&A. Yes, Paco enjoyed that. Funny moment. Yes, it was. Question for future. Can we get some Tony's top 10 lists up in here? Tony's top 10 watches for under 10K. Thanks, man. Your channel rocks. Thanks. You rock, dude. Yeah, and then I got the comment on that. Agreed. Top 10 under 10. So I'm actually going to do a top 10 video probably tomorrow. So we'll have a top 10 video coming up. Thanks for your question. I really appreciate it, as always. This one comes from another generic name, at PQ19476. Hey, Tony, what are your thoughts on the Omega Railmaster? Thinking about buying one, specifically the black modern face. Would love to know your thoughts. I'm between this and the Black Bay 54. Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, the Railmaster is cool. I mean, I kind of like that denim one they have, you know? I mean, it's just, because I wear blue jeans a lot, denim, so I'd probably get that one if I was to get it. I mean, you've got, I think it's a 55-hour power reserve, and it's a 40 millimeter case, right? So then if you're looking at the Black Bay 54, you're looking at a 37 millimeter case, and bracelet, and which one? Love to know their thought. What are the thoughts on the Omega Railmaster? Thinking about buying one, especially in the black bottom. Yeah, between the two of them, I don't know. I mean, do you like a 40 millimeter or do you want a 37 millimeter? Do you want a bigger one or a smaller one? You know what I mean? As far as the reliability, they're both reliable. Omega's cool and Tudor's cool. Go with the Omega. Thanks for your question. Hey, Tony, have a question for you on your next Q&A. Right? You have mentioned some kind of hairline removal from the side of your Batgirl done by your AD without polishing the watch. Please elaborate on that if you don't mind. Thanks in advance. Emmanuel Rodriguez 5044. Yeah, man, it's if your watch is just, when I talk about hairline scratch, that if you go to an AD, a lot of ADs have their Rolex watch repair guy, and they've got a steam cleaner. So it's a steamer, you know, it's just like putting it in those, like at a restaurant when you put these watches, the dishes come out and they're all steaming, you know. And apparently with that, it removes, not all, but sometimes hairline scratches on, and they have to be very, very, you know, like almost like you could rub it off. But, and you know, when I get the chance and I go to my AD with my like Batgirl or whatever, and get it steam cleaned, because every time I go there I don't bring it to get cleaned, you know what I mean? It's just like I don't even think about it, but it comes out looking like it's brand spanking new, you know what I mean? And it doesn't, it just cleans it. It's a deep, sort of a deep clean. The watch comes out and it's actually hot from like it's like an oven being steamed. Thanks, dude. Thanks, appreciate your question. This one comes from C. Tizer. Hey, Tony, awesome channel. You need a drummer at any point in time, let me know. Oh, thanks, dude. But look, I need some advice. I'm gonna get the call for a 36 millimeter silver dial OP with the gold markers and hands. Those, I mean, that was the watch that I initially wanted when Rolex were impossible to get. And when I first started talking to Juan, I was like, this is what I want, and I just never got it. And then finally, I've been offered it, but then I was offered other watches, and I was taking the other watches. You know what I mean? I love that watch. I love the look of it. Actually, and then I told Juan I didn't want one, and if you can get it for my sister instead, and whatever, and so he did, and whatever. But that's a great watch. I wanted a time-only dressy Rolex to go with my blue Tudor Black Bay 58 for a 2-watch collection, but I've been eyeing the 36 millimeter Explorer. What you reckon is more special and dressy? The OP, dude. Just for what you said, it's time only, and it's you can dress it up, you can dress it down. You have a Black Bay 58, so you already have a sport watch. You don't need another one, right? You know, I mean, the Explorer, fine. If you dig it, cool, but you don't need to have two. I would say you've got the 58. Keep that as your sort of sport Submariner style type watch, and then get your OP for your, you know, your alternative when you're not wearing the Black Bay. You know, simple. See how easy that was? Awesome, man. Thanks for your question. Ned Flanders 3769. Hey, Tony, love the videos. Thanks, Ned. And the kitties. Thanks, thanks, kitties. Yeah, they love you too, Ned. If you were a watch complication, what kind would you be? What? I don't know. I would say a tourbillon, but that's not really a complication. If I was a tourbillon, I'd be like, yeah, they're good to look at, and they serve absolutely no purpose in today's modern watches. So I can't really use that because they're not a complication. But I would say maybe a Rolex date complication on any one, Submariner or whatever, just it's because it is reliable and accurate, and it never seems to fail. And that's me in life. I'm always on time. I'm always reliable. I'm always, that kind of shit. So that's probably what it would be. Anyway, thanks you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. I don't know. Do or don't. Have a good day.